Welcome back to the channel. My name is Karim Chelli, mindset and performance coach for poker players. And today I have a very special guest, which is Quentin Roussey, who works with me for over 6 months now. And I asked him to jump on a call with me, have a little chat about his experience of my work, a few exercises that we did together, and also the overall feedback that he had for working with me for such a long time. And of course, at the end, if he would recommend me and who he would recommend me to. So if you're interested in that, get ready and let's jump right into it. All right, Quentin, thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, nice to have you here. So this should be a little bit of a Q&A where I ask you a few questions to inspire others to make others see what we did in our mentoring. Yeah,
sure.
So let's talk about the 10 weeks experience that you have with me. So before you started working with me, you didn't have a lot of experience about the poker mindset, right? So can you tell me a little bit how we got in touch and your mindset before working with a mindset coach in general?
As you said, I really didn't know much about mindset. Some articles, some isolated sentences from coaches in videos, some chats with friends, but I was like thinking about it for a few months now. But when you're still winning at this game, you still think, you can sometimes think, okay, I'm fine. I have to improve my game, to work on my game, but what I do is so far makes me win money. So why shouldn't I just continue like this? But talking about it even more with friends, and especially with one that worked with you before, I said, okay, I should at least try and see if I see some improvements, what can change. And Florian told me about you. We got in touch, and we were with another friend, Francois. We started at the same time with me, the first to start the mindset mentoring program as it is now. You weren't working exactly like this before. You tell me if I'm wrong, so I discovered about many topics I didn't really have. I mean, there were somewhere I had some ideas, but really nothing precise about a bunch of topics related to mindset.
Yeah. And what we did is basically we started, because that's the idea behind those 10 weeks, right? So we start very easy, and then each week we make it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more difficult, a little bit more difficult. So also the learning curve goes up.
I don't know if it was more and more difficult, but it was, I'd say, maybe more and more precise. The basis was to create a structure, to get more motivation by setting goals, things that I didn't really do before working with you. And then it goes more and more precise, more and more in deep. But the start is also something important and hard at the beginning to settle that structure.
Of course, because the idea is to not let people down, and they're like, oh, like week 1 we already talk about, like digging deep into the mindset,
like everything, like when you're learning poker, you start with the rules and the basis.
Exactly. So what was the biggest learning point for you where you say that was really the thing that sticks to my mind?
I'm hesitating between, like, as I said just before, the basis, structure and goals, because if you structure your day, your week, then you can do more things, and these things can be very different. So they can be anything, but you do things. You're active and you're going forward. And goals is also the thing that motivates you to stick to that structure. So those two, for me, those two big things put together. Then if you know why you're doing things, what to reach, what do you want to reach by doing them, then you just go forward and you just move and you just improve yourself, not only as a poker player, but also in life in general.
And of course, putting those goals into a certain structure where you are more productive and you know exactly when should I do what, and so on and so forth, right? And of course, you need discipline for that. Yeah, and it's always an up and down as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they are not sure what mindset work is really all about. They always say like, okay, I work with you for 10 weeks and then I have a better mindset. But can you tell me what was the end result for you? Because I think that's what a lot of people, they really struggle with, to find out what is the real end result of this.
Apart from the money, which is not the point we are first looking for, I can say that it helped with me going up in stakes and seeing my bankroll goes up. It must be related, because I felt that it helped me with a lot of things, but it's more a general improvement. I mean, I feel now more calm. Can say that I wasn't, and I'm still not the calmest person on earth. And it helped me with that, to deal with downswings, deal with fear, deal with sometimes anxiety, and to basically know where you want to go and how should I do to reach these goals, and that there's no, I can't see any finish line from now. I want to play poker as long as I can and live from it comfortably as long as I can. So I don't know. I'm just climbing. If I can use that image, climbing a mountain without being the summit. So nice. Maybe it will be too hard at some point, and I'll go down. I will jump with a wingsuit or anything to not to do the whole road down. It would be too long, but you get my point. And no, I don't see the summit, and okay, I climb step by step, and that's what mindset should be. Would be the, I don't know, the shoes or the whole equipment you need to don't get cold and to go step by step.
Yeah, nice. So then the next question that I also get asked a lot is, when would you recommend someone to do mindset work? Would you say maybe a beginner, who plays low stakes, or mid stakes player, or a high stakes player? When would you say that's a good time to start working on your mindset?
I don't know. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think it will be more useful for a professional player. It will obviously help also any recreational player that want to get better at this game and in life in general. But you, especially as a mindset coach for poker players, you will be even more useful for a professional player that dedicates all his time or most of his time to poker. But to anyone that feels that needs, everyone that needs some help on any point in his life, basically, like,
so everyone
basically everyone, but it will be with degrees, like you will have. And if I take my example, it will be very useful even to someone that has basically no idea at all about and no any knowledge about mindset.
Yeah, yeah, and also for me, it's kind of interesting to see, because as you know, I work with people who want to make the transition to play poker full time. I work with professional poker players, semi-professional, people who have an average buy-in of $20, for example, people like you who get very close to an average buy-in of 100 or maybe even more than 100. Yeah. So the mix is very big. But what I believe in, and you can tell me if you would agree, that if you play poker at the beginning, I think it's important to get like an understanding about the strategy. But there will be a point where like everyone has a very similar level of strategy, so the edge is not so big. So the real edge is now working on your mindset and improving your performance. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, it's definitely right. Even more in live, where in live poker, where the sample is lower, and variance is high, but you can create those hedge by being in good shape during tournaments, so that lasts long, that for being focused for hours and manage easily with any bad beat, any situation that occurs at the table, and being well prepared and knowing what you want, what you have to do, how do you have to act and react at the tables. Mm-hmm. Nice. Online too, but live, yeah, for sure it will help any player. And yeah, even in life in general, I'm talking a lot about poker, but you helped me with motivation for sports. To be the first question I remember important that makes me think a lot of was the exercise about the person I want to be, the future me. I don't know if maybe I can spoil. I will spoil
a little bit. A little spoil is allowed.
Okay, then yeah. The question was to imagine our worst and our better version, the worst and the better version of ourselves in the future. What will I become if I don't do anything better than what I'm doing now? And what will I become if I do everything perfectly? And for sport, for example, I said, okay, I could be stronger. I could run a marathon. Why not? So, and you starting to think about yourself and push your limits. And for sport, for example, it helped me a lot. And then sport helps for poker, but it can be in basically any area of your life.
And you also ran a marathon, right? I want to mention that here.
Marathon.
Half marathon. Yeah. But that's a lot. Yeah, at least for me. For me,
someone,
that's a lot.
For someone that a year ago weren't doing basically any sport at all, it was a big object, a big goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very, very big one. Yeah, and also like a bonus result that you got from working with me. Okay, so the last question I have is like, would after the 10 weeks, you're also one of my advanced clients, you all continue to work with me after the 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So would you recommend me, and also do you want to like share something with the people here who are watching?
I obviously recommend working with you as a poker mindset coach, because I told you, but you know what you're talking about, and the program is well adapted for basically any player. I can say from my point that for a professional poker player, it were insane, and it helped me so much. And any feedback, what are you expecting there?
Anything you want to share, anything you want to share. If not, it's fine. But anything you want to like tell the people to inspire them, and or share.
Yeah, that story about the future self was inspiring for me. But this is one example of an exercise we did with you, and if you do it with motivation, and that Karim will also help you with that if you have a small lack of motivation, then it can be it can be for most of us a life changer.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for the nice words.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for taking the time.
Hello everyone. My name is Quentin. I'm a French poker pro for now almost 6 years. I'm playing tournaments and started 9 weeks ago to work with Karim as my mindset coach. And I would like to give you a little feedback about what we did and how it helped me. So yeah, before we started to work together, I have to say that I was very few aware of what is really mindset and how it could help me. But I gave it a chance, and I wanted. I knew from friends that it could be a real life changer, and actually, it has been a life changer. So there's so many way of improvements in most for most of us, I think, in terms of mindset, not only in our poker grind, in our play, in our game, but also in life in general. I mean, sport. I mean, health, alimentation, food, and happiness, and life balance in general. I mean, Karim. The first thing that I want to say is that he knows how to adapt to each one of us. I think he really gets what we precisely need to work on and what are our strengths and weaknesses. So and he is also very available and helpful. I mean, if I have a question, he is always answering me in a few minutes with precise answer and how to solve it. So from the more little detail you could imagine, like I don't know, I didn't know what to eat. I asked him what should I eat while I'm playing. How should I do? When in my day should I do sport? How to organize my day? To the big picture of what we could work on to improve our mindset. Like structure, for example, was for me terrible before we started working together, and I have now like a full agenda, really precise. I'm now following for a few months, and he is really here to guide us and through that. And yeah, I saw changes. People around me, my relatives, friends, family, saw changes too. So that's not something we have to. We should how to say it. We should underestimate. Um, and if the program is well done, you will have videos and homework. So you can just once you studied and if you're motivated to do it, you can just quit and skip it, and you will learn how to. Karim will also learn how to continue with this improvement by yourself. How to be auto 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 how to say it, auto improving. I don't know if this is fine, but you get my point that it is not it's not sorry just a 10 weeks program or and at the end okay you go back to your normal to your life before, and you don't get anything from it. You will learn. I think it works with me to to work on your mindset by yourself with sport, meditation, with breathing exercises, with self-talk, anything that will help you, because you will have all the keys to improve by yourself. So sorry if it's been too long, but thank you very much, Karim, again. And guys, yeah, if you're hesitating now, don't. Let's go. You should work on your mindset, and Karim is one of the best to do that for sure. Thank you, guys.